Today's video, I want to cover 6 sneaky little tips to get jacked that you have probably never heard on any other channel that is related to fitness. Because it isn't really a fitness advice, it's more of a mental advice, because at least what happened to me when I was starting out is I could technically show up. I was doing some physical action, but when it came down to diet and maybe like even sometimes going and hitting a workout, I was just weak there. Like I just couldn't eat the right calories. I would overeat, I would undereat, I would eat horrible foods for my digestion and for my system, and because of that I wasn't actually making progress. And so in this video I'm going to give you these 6 tips, plus also if you stay at the end you can get bonus tips that honestly can change your life if you do actually implement them. And yeah, if you don't know who I am, by the way, my name is Žarko. I help busy and ambitious entrepreneurs get jacked, sort out their health and fitness so they can make more money. Because if you are healthier, if you are fitter, if you have more energy, you're going to make more money because you can put more attention and more focus on your business. And like, people don't understand how actually this important is. People think fitness is just, okay, yeah, health. Like, if you actually have better health, you can 10x your business. I'm not even joking. Like, if you don't have these bullshit fucking thoughts that you're fat ass while sitting on your chair and working, like if you just remove this thought, you can make so much more money. Like, it's just insane. And I help people doing that. And I went through my own fitness transformation for about 4 years. It's going to be soon 5 years. But yeah, for 4 years, I was going through my own fitness transformation from skinny, then jacked. And in this video, I'm going to give you 6 tips that you can use to get jacked and that I learned in these 4 years, condensed in 20 minutes. So I hope you enjoy, and as always, so the step 0 is realizing that motivation doesn't exist. It actually grows. And so when I say this, people don't get what I mean by this. Like, how does motivation grow? It's because motivation is being deprived of something. If you really look at the word, what motivation means, it's being deprived of something. And the reason why it grows and doesn't appear is because people think it's a magic thing. People think motivation is just going to appear out of nowhere and you're going to start your business or get jacked because, well, you're deprived of something and you're going to feel good for the rest of your life working out. But no, you're going to feel like shit sometimes going to the gym and it will not be fun. And it's okay because motivation grows. If you look at what motivation is, essentially it's being deprived of something based on some kind of standard or some kind of standpoint, which means if you're somebody who's right now skinny and you look at all these like hyper jacked guys, you're going to feel really deprived, essentially motivated, because motivation is just going towards something that you like, that you desire. Like, you can have motivation to drink water, to eat a good food, to get a good grade, whatever, right? You can imagine all sorts of scenarios. And so it doesn't just appear, it grows. Because in the beginning you don't even realizing, but you're not deprived of something. And then at some point, because you didn't get it for such a long time, you get deprived and it grows. It doesn't just appear, it grows. And the good thing is, you can grow it to literally exponential levels because it just depends on what do you measure yourself against. If you're somebody who's skinny and you measure yourself against jacked guys, good thing is you're going to be really deprived, which means you're going to take massive amounts of action and you're going to get jacked in an instant, or essentially a lot faster than you would if you didn't compare yourself with more jacked guys. Tip number 1, you only have to get jacked once. The reason why I'm giving you this right now is because people don't get this. Like, people genuinely think getting jacked is going to suck, and you have to do it again and again and again. What people don't understand, and what I really hate about this industry, is that you have these videos like get jacked for summer or shred for summer, and then go back to your old life and then do it again for the rest of your life. Like, no wonder why you're fucking miserable. That is not how it's supposed to work. I used to have the same mindset where I was like, okay, I'll start training 2 months before summer holiday or summer, and I'm going to get ready. I'm going to get six pack. And then what happened is that I didn't do it because you simply can't train the hardest in the easiest times. It's way better to train the hardest in the hardest time, so when the easy time comes, you can just do it. But the problem is, like, if you never have a reference point on what the hardest feels like, going into the easy domain or before going on a summer holiday and then training, you're never going to get jacked because it's just not going to happen. Like, it's just not going to happen. You have to first build in a habit. Like, you know how fucking hard it is. Like, you know. You have been doing this for some time, maybe. Right? Maybe for some time, maybe like for a month, maybe 2 months, starting out. It's fucking hard. Like, it isn't easy to build a habit in. And so people who are trying to get jacked for summer, of course, they're going to feel miserable because they think, oh, fuck, I have to do this again the next summer and again the next summer. It's way easier to just get jacked once and that's it. And trust me, somebody needs this fucking tip because some people genuinely just think it's short term. They're like, okay, I'm going to get pleasure for summer and then I'm just going to, again, gain weight through autumn, winter, spring, and then I'm going to get shredded for summer again. And they repeat the cycle over and over again, which is fucking horrible. You're here to get jacked once and that's it. That is first and most important tip because the longer you can think in future, the better it is. The less of a second tip that I have for you, you have to actually use. Which the second tip, by the way, is stop fucking setting time frames. Just do it. If you set the fucking time frame always, what is going to happen is you're going to be in a constant stress and pressure because you have now this time frame of like 3 months and you have to lose, I don't know, let's say 20 pounds. You have to build in a habit. You have to start eating better, cleaner foods. You have to stop going out. Like, you're trying to change 5 fucking habits in 3 months. Like, of course you're going to fucking fail every single time. Okay? Maybe this isn't applicable for everybody, but stop setting time frames. That's it. You can set long time frames for, let's say, for in the next 5 years, I want to be completely shredded. I want to look jacked, 10, 12% body fat, whatever. Those kinds of goals are fine. At least knowing where you want to go. But setting like time frames for every single month, for every 2 months, it is good if it's a small goal that you can predictably hit. But if you can't, it's like something big. Like, for example, going from 0 to 10K a month, like that's just being stupid. Okay, so stop setting time frames. It's really important because a lot of people still do these things. They say, oh, I'm going to get abs in 2 months. Stop setting time frames because you only get jacked, you only get abs if you're a person who can actually get abs. Tip number 3, change your friend group. As you can see, this isn't a fucking typical fitness video. And the reason why I'm giving you this right now is because, like, again, I used to actually do all these things that I'm saying you should not be doing. And it's the reason why I didn't get jacked. I knew about fucking how much protein I should eat. I knew about diet. I knew about what I should eat, what I should not eat. I was consistent, but it's because of these things that I wasn't able to actually build muscle because I was in a fucking constant pressure. So tip number 3, change your friend group. I spoke about this on the tip number 0 or tip 0, which is just understanding that like the people who you compare yourself with is your lowest standard. And if your friend group are people who, I don't know, do just some weird things, who are skinny, or maybe like even fat, skinny, fat, whatever, who don't go to the gym, who don't even push themselves hard in any single domain of life, like that is the reason why you're where you are. It's really important that you understand this. Changing your friend group is probably one of the easiest and the best ways you can get discipline, you can get motivation, because you essentially don't think of them anymore. Like you just don't have this one part of your mind who's telling you it's good enough. Like you are good enough. You should just stop training. You should not push that hard because we're okay, we look good. You don't have this part of your mind because you're in a constant deprivation essentially. Because you look at guys who look 10 times better than you and you're like, fuck, I want that. And so you just work for it. Okay? So change your friend group. Now, you don't have to, but for most people, this is actually applicable because most people have shit friends. Like, if I'm going to be honest, most people have friends that are completely fucking irrelevant to their life. Completely. They have friends they have from middle school, and if you think about middle school, it's just literally like a fucking roll on the dice. You just throw a dice and, okay, this guy is my friend now because he lived 50 feet away from me and we went to the same school, and we have nothing in common, but he's still my friend because I know him. Stupid. Change your fucking friend group. If it doesn't help you go towards your goal, and if you wonder how do you actually know that, look at them. Do you want to resemble something out of them? Do you see some kind of trait that you genuinely fucking want to like absorb from them and get from them? If no, you're not fucking friends. Also, if, for example, they don't support you towards your goal, they're not your friends because your goals should mean more to you than your friends. Which is also a controversial thing to believe, but I believe it. Next, building muscle is mental. You have to realize one thing, and that is that building muscle is not a physical action. Now, you might be wondering, but wait, what the fuck does that mean? Like how it is a physical action? It is, but it is only if your mind is going to produce the physical action. Okay, so building muscle is all mental. Like if you look at cause and effect, building muscle, or essentially doing the action of building muscle, is an effect. The way you get the effect is by having cause. And the only thing that can actually cause building muscle is your mind, because your mind is telling you the inputs, or essentially the outputs of what you should do in real life to get the result you want to get, which means your mind is the cause. Your mind is the input. Your mind is telling you everything you should be doing. So if you want to build more muscle, if you want to look better, if you want to diet, if you want to do anything, trust me, every single problem stems from a belief problem. Like if you cannot lose weight, if you cannot build muscle, it's because of your mind. It isn't because you haven't tried some kind of new tactic or some kind of new diet. For some people, yeah, sure, it's going to work, but for most people, it's not going to work because their mind is full of shit. That's why. Building muscle is mostly mental. You have to understand this. Let this sink in. Because if you understand that building muscle is mental, that all you're doing is you're training your mind to give you the right outputs so you can essentially change your reality by taking the action to create a result, that is when you actually build muscle, because you realize that your mind is the driving force of everything in your reality. Your business, how much muscle you have, your relationship, your fitness, everything. Your mind is the driving factor of everything. It's the input, and the action you take is the output. So if you want to change the output, the action you take, you need to change the input, your beliefs, and just ask yourself, what do I believe about weight loss that isn't true? What do I believe about building muscle that isn't true? Like anything you want, you can actually just apply this to. And you will see. This happened to me. I'm not even joking. I did this myself and I was like, I cannot lose weight. I genuinely believe I cannot lose weight. And so when I tried to lose weight, how the fuck could I lose weight? I couldn't. Exactly. Tip number 5. Be okay with deload weeks. I know people love to like listen to David Goggins and just run every single day at 4 a.m. and listen to David Goggins and be like, oh, I'm the fucking baddest motherfucker. I also love it. But listen, it is possible to overtrain. Yes, it is actually possible. And you can quite literally push yourself past your limits. If you undereat, if you train too much, like it's actually possible. And sometimes you will have to take what is called a deload week. And deload week essentially means you do less volume, you push yourself less to failure, you just go to the gym for the sake of going to the gym for just like the overall energetic boost, frequency boost. And that is fine. Like that is completely okay. And you should not be ashamed of it. You should not think you're not disciplined because you're not going to the gym like fucking 6 times a week for the rest of your life. It's fine. Okay? It's fine. The reason I'm saying this is because I used to believe this thing. Like I used to believe that, you know, if I take a deload week, I'm going to be a pussy, whatever. No. For some people, yeah, sure, in the beginning you don't need deload weeks, but later as you move on, like when you approach year 2, you want to start taking some deload weeks. Even I would say year 1. You want to at least have like 1 deload week in 3 months. At least 1. And that is fine. That is completely okay. You should not be ashamed of it. It just means your body is going to recover so you can push yourself harder. That's all it is. And be okay with it, because I used to believe it isn't cool, it is an okay thing, but it actually is okay. Just stop trying to be so strong. Okay? That's all I'm trying to say. Because if you just try to like be so disciplined every single time, essentially it runs into obliquity where discipline just becomes not being disciplined. because anything taken to its extreme becomes its opposite. Because extremes are both the same, like good and bad are the same. They're just different energies and different frequencies. So if you just have a good thing, it can also be a bad thing pretty fast. For example, buying a new TV, a good thing. And then you watch TV shows for 3 hours every single day, bad thing. Anything to its extreme can become a bad thing. Also remember that. Tip number 6, expect less, do more. This is important because a lot of people reverse this. A lot of people say, okay, I'm going to expect more and do less. But that is a wrong expectation because you can never even meet it. Like if you expect of yourself more and you do less, what the fuck? Like why? You're just making yourself feel like shit every single time. So just reverse it. Say, I'm going to expect less, but I'm going to do more. Which means you're going to expect doing just 2 sets, but you do like 5 sets. And then you're going to feel like, I do 5 sets when I think I can do only 2. And you feel good about yourself because you did more than you expected of yourself. And it's a good mental game because it always keeps you like coming back to the fitness or coming back to lifting more weights, because you feel like, if I believe I can do 2 sets, but I actually do 5 sets, then it means I'm actually better than I think I am. And it's just a positive frequency feedback loop in your life that is just making you feel happier and better about yourself. And now, of course, because I just don't want to leave you here, I want to give you a couple of bonuses that you can also actually use not really in fitness, but in real life or in other domains of your life to boost your fitness, because a lot of people actually don't talk about these ones, and I find them really funny because some people actually do train to gain these things, but they don't realize that you never do actually gain these things through training. You gain them by actually practicing that kind of thing, okay? Which the first bonus is just talk to more girls. Now the reason why I put this over here is because a lot of people actually train for getting girls, right? They want to get women, they want to have more conversations with women, they want to do whatever they want to do. What people don't realize is that, yes, getting jacked will help you out with this a lot, but no, also not in the same way, because you didn't develop a skill to talk to them. And what you have to realize, one thing is that discipline is interlinked. If you are disciplined in one area, you can actually translate this discipline in other areas, because essentially going to the gym and being comfortable with, let's say, the last rep is really the same kind of awkwardness as talking to women. Like maybe not the same one, but a similar one. And you can kind of see this as a game. You can see that talking to girls is also uncomfortable as lifting, for example, let's say 2 last reps. They are uncomfortable, but it's all interlinked. And so if you talk to more girls, and especially this is like something that you're not comfortable with, if you do this and if you just discipline yourself to be like, okay, fine, I'm going to do this, I'm going to just start talking to more women, you can actually build more muscle, because you are going to, again, be able to reap the rewards of discipline for other areas of your life and put them all in fitness. This happened to me, actually. Like I was talking to more girls, and I'm talking to more girls right now. And so when I train harder because I have this discipline already built up in this area, and in this area of like fitness, relationship, or even like work. And I can just extrapolate discipline in all these areas and just put them into fitness and build more muscle because of that. So if you talk to more girls, you are by proxy, by nature, going to build more muscle. And the second bonus I have for you is that the character is the price you're going to pay. And the reason why I put this over here is because you are not building muscle. You are building a person who can actually build muscle. That is the only difference between who you are right now. So who you are right now and who you're becoming. The only difference between these two people is the character is the price you're going to pay, essentially. You're not building muscle, you're building a person who can build muscle. And when you have muscle, it is a cool asset to have, but realize that the character or the person who did it is the person you have built, is the person that you should be proud of more than muscle, because essentially that is what matters. Like you can lose muscle, but you cannot lose it. You can't lose a character. You cannot lose these traits, beliefs, and skills you have. Okay, so realize that that is the price you're actually paying for. And if you do build muscle, the cool thing is, again, you can just extrapolate this character into other areas of your life, and yeah, just get better in other areas of your life. Your business, relationship, health, wealth, everything else you want probably to have in your life. And so if you're somebody who is a busy entrepreneur, who is ambitious, who wants to start his health and fitness, who wants to look better, who wants to have more energy, more longevity, whatever you want that is related to fitness and health, then down below, first in the description. And as always, take care.